Welcome to another installment of my first quilt. I wanted to show you a couple of things. Since we last talked, a few spotlight things came through. So these fat quarters I'm using for background color. As you can see, I've started glue basting some of these hexagons. I've got 30 here. I tried to count how many I need. I think it's around 100. Possibly. I should probably try to count that again from the photo. But I also got these fat quarters. I think I like the color of these a lot and I might put that in the quilt, but not sure about this. I mean, I'm sure it'd be a nice flower. And we're going for a scrappy look anyway, so I'm sure it will end up in there somewhere. I am accumulating quite a lot of fabric, but I guess there'll just be lots of quilts to put together soon. I am sort of wondering about the batting situation, and I'm thinking I might use some flannelette sheets for some of them, either a double layer or a single layer. And yeah, still thinking about that just because wadding is quite expensive. Yeah, anyway. I wanted to show you a couple of things today. I wanted to show you how I'm piecing together my quilt, and because I'm hand sewing it, doing it in sections. This is the center. I started with this circle or this hexagon flower, and I put all the ones around it, and then I did one star point at a time. So I've connected those together. Here's what the back looks like, and as I'm going, I'm just removing all the middle hexagon paper pieces, and I will show you how I do that shortly. But yes, this is all been done in pieces. Just scooch these out of the way so that I can reconstruct it. I mean, the main goal is to have workable pieces that I can hand stitch on their own. So they're not too big and unwieldy, but then eventually I'm going to, well, eventually, I say eventually, the next step right now is to put all of these pieces together. So as you can see, that will make a star, and this will be the centerpiece of my quilt. And I guess that's a pretty sizable, I mean, it's 51 centimeters. This is only a centimeter measuring tape, but yeah, pretty big. So what, maybe 16, 17 inches it looks like compared to my cutting mat. So it's a quite a large, nice large center to the quilt. So yeah, once this is together, that'll be a nice big chunk of the quilt, and then I will just make, I guess, sort of this size granny squares to put in between the spokes of the star, and I'll just sort of keep working around the hexagons in that manner. But yeah, I think that is what will work for me going forward, or this is how I will make these hexagon stars going forward. I can take these middle papers out. Okay, so let me show you how I take the papers out, because I feel like I didn't see a lot of that information online. Maybe because it's kind of obvious, but not obvious to a beginner or someone who's never done it before. But it does cause, the glue I use does cause a little bit of fraying, but you know, it's cheap and cheerful. And I just take it out, basically. Let me see, there's another one here. I just use my fingers to peel up the fabric. I do maybe 2 or 3 sides using my fingers, and then once I can get my hands underneath the paper, I can sort of just yank it out, really. I don't really do it in a delicate manner. So yeah, that's 2. Let me just go through. So I only take out the papers once every side has been covered. So you can see it's just the center pieces of paper here that have been taken out. So if every other side has been surrounded by another piece, so it's not on the outside anymore, I will go in and take the paper out, and it makes the piece lighter to work with, is one pro. Another pro is you can reuse these, so I'll be reusing it at least twice, maybe. I think I've heard people use it up to 4 times, but I guess the more I can use it, the better. Yeah, so just taking out the pieces of paper, just folding up the edges of the fabric, literally just peeling it off the back of this English paper piece hexagon, and then I just pull off any stray fraying bits that might still be attached. So yeah, I try to take them out as I go. 1 for the weight, and 2 so that it doesn't get in the way when I'm trying to sew up other angles of the other hexagons. So I'm just I get to just sort of scrunch up and move the other hexagons out of the way without the bulk of the paper, without having to fight and crease the paper, which is fine to do. I do need to crease the paper every now and then because I can't take it out yet, but it is much easier once you're able to take that paper out. The piece of fabric can just bend and crumple, and I mean, it's fabric, so you can manipulate it more easily. And yes, I've taken all those papers out. I will spend the next day or so, I guess, putting pieces of star together, and I think it will look really cool once that's done and sort of give me a little dopamine boost to see it all together. I just sort of need a space to put it now because it is going to get bigger, isn't it? Exciting that my project is growing, but yeah, you sort of just always finding new problems and new solutions to problems, I guess, when it's the first time trying to figure out how to put a quilt together. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, hope that made sense. I'll see you in a bit when I have done a bit more progress. Thanks for watching.